Hello, hello, hello. This is Rajat here from Startup Frat, and today what we're going to discuss is the hard fact of selling almost any product. The hard fact that nobody talks about of selling almost any product. Now, especially if you are a commission based seller, which means you're selling a product that does not belong to you, you don't have your name and your label on it. Like if you're selling a network marketing product, if you're selling health supplements, if you're a financial planner who's selling mutual funds, insurance, anything like that. Even if you're a property broker, property brokers never, all the properties are owned by somebody else. You're selling it either for the builder or for some other owner. Okay, so then this relates to you. The hard fact of selling almost any product is that everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. What does this mean for you? What it means is that if you're into selling commissionable products, you're making commission from the product. In order to make sure you get more and more sales, sometimes we ask for references, sometimes we give out, we tell people, hey man, if you can just help me make a sale or something, I will, split my commission with you or something like that. Certain industries like network marketing already have a multiple commission system, which means if somebody refers other people to you, they all get paid in the line of command, etc., etc. During this time, our constant focus is on the benefit that the prospect is going to receive from us. Okay, whoever is going to buy our product, what are they going to get? Are they going to make money? So we say, hey man, are you interested in multiplying your money, building a solid retirement, etc., etc.? They will obviously say yes. They say yes. You ask somebody, hey man, do you want to look good, be healthy, whatever, if you're into selling health supplements or something like that, they'll obviously say yes. Yes, I want to be healthy, I want to look good. Okay, if you ask somebody, hey man, do you want to be a part of a great community? If you're a coaching person, you're building a community, or even if you're a network marketing person, involving other people to be a part of a great community, obviously they'll say yes, yes. Okay, you want to build new and exciting skills? We teach so many different skills in our community, etc. Obviously, the answer is yes. Okay, and then we pitch our product, plan, scheme, whatever it is, and the prospect says, let me think about it. And then guess what happens? They never think about it and they never come back to you, even if you follow up with them. Okay. The point that we miss is that there is always something that has to be, the prospect is always putting at risk when they go out to achieve these goals. These goals are not being given to them on a platter, right? You're not giving them cash in hand. They have to do something. They have to put their money in order to make the money or whatever. Nobody gets healthy directly. You're not just magically turning them into a great, Hollywood star or something like that. There has to be some effort. They have to be putting something at risk. And this is the part that we are missing most of the time. This is the part that we are missing most of the time. What are the things that the prospect is going to risk that is going on through their mind, either directly or indirectly, which means if the prospect knows that these are certain risks that I have, they will tell you and you can address them. But 99% of the time, prospects don't even know what they're going to risk. They just know subconsciously that they're not going to get the goal so easily, because if they were to become rich suddenly, or they were to become healthy suddenly, or they were to develop great skills suddenly, they would have already done that. They would have already done that. So they know, the subconscious mind knows at the back that, there is going to be something I have to put forward on the table in order to achieve whatever this person is saying I can get. Okay, most of the time these thoughts are not clear in the prospect's mind, so they are unable to give you objections. They will say, okay, let me think about it, and then when they leave, then they are never going to think about it. Okay, it's a muddled, in marketing they say a muddled mind always says no. If the prospect is confused, the answer is always no, regardless of whether they say it or not. Okay, if the prospect is not giving you core objections, then chances are they are confused, regardless of what they say or not. Okay, what are the things? Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. What are the risks? What are the things that are keeping these prospects from saying yes to you? Okay, all of us need to understand this. Nobody wants to be labeled as a network marketer. If you're in network marketing industry, the cash potential may be very high, but the first thing that prospects don't want to be, they don't want to be labeled as a network marketer, especially in India, where the whole movement has gone so viral that almost everybody has tried network marketing at some point in their life. What is happening is there are more suppliers than buyers, which means everybody has tried it, whether they're doing it actively or not, and they have faced the problem where they have not succeeded. They have seen other people face problems, so they don't want to be in the same they don't want to be in the same boat. Okay, very, very simple. Nobody wants to be a network marketer. Do you have a way for them to make money if they don't be a network marketer? That is the key point. Okay, that's what the question is. Second, nobody wants long lock-ins of their money. If you're a financial planner, most schemes today have lock-in because no fund, no mutual fund, no equity fund, no insurance policy can work properly if they're dependent on a bunch of people, sometimes putting money, sometimes withdrawing money. Most good schemes today have a lock-in of at least 3 years, especially if they come with tax benefits. In order for economic cycles to always be in your favor, you need to have a holding time 7 to 10 years. That means if you were to hold your money for 7 to 10 years in any kind of market, in a good capitalist country like India, you would always make money. You would always end up being better off. But does everybody have a holding mindset like that? Who's going to tell them? If you tell them, hey man, you know what, screw it, sometimes market goes up, sometimes it goes down, I can't give you a guarantee, just hold it for 10 years regardless, you'll be rich. What's going to happen? Most people are going to say, let me think about it. They're not going to come back to you. Okay, they're not going to come back to you because people don't want to lock in their money for long terms. Okay, next, nobody wants to take big financial risks. Especially if you're a property broker, every small decision a prospect takes, even if they have to give a check, what do you call that, the check for applying for a home loan. Yeah, the advance check for applying for a home loan today is 12,000-15,000 rupees. It's a big risk. Forget about deposits. Even to get an apartment on rent in a tier 1, tier 2 city, deposit is going to be upwards of 50,000 rupees. Okay, it's a big financial risk. Okay, go for stamp duty registration. Cash needs to be in the pocket. Big financial risks. To take on a 20-year home loan, big financial risk. Nobody wants to take big financial risks. So what you're trying to sell is a big decision for the prospect in return for 2% commission. Okay, you need to recognize that. You need to recognize what's going on in the mind of the prospect. I'll show you later how you can reduce all these risks in the mind of the prospect and become the de facto standard so they do business only with you regardless of whether the market is good or bad. I'll come to that later. Okay, lose reputation or risk failure and rejection. Lose reputation or risk failure and rejection. One of the things that nobody understands, especially players in the game. If you're a player of the game, if you're a coach, consultant, trainer, author, speaker, network marketer, if you're a property broker, financial consultant, health consultant, whatever, nobody wants to lose social capital for financial capital, which means nobody wants, there is active loss of social capital in industries such as network marketing. The more people I call and the more people say no to me, the more social capital I lose in my social circle. I don't want to do that in return for money. I don't want to do that in return for money. Yeah, you assume that people want to do that in return for money. The answer is no. 9.5 out of 10 times the answer is no. I don't want to lose my social capital for financial capital in return to get money. I don't want to lose my social capital. Very simple. There are other situations. Passive loss of social capital. Somebody invests with your insurance policy. You say, give me 2 references. Those references are never going to come. They'll say, okay, let me think about it. I'll get back to you. Those references are never going to come. You're going to keep calling them saying, hey, those references. And they'll say, okay, let me ask the reference and they will come back to you. Why do they do that? Yeah, they already invested in the insurance. If they thought it was a great idea, they can already give you some phone numbers and you can connect with them, connect with the references without their involvement. Why do they hesitate? That's a passive loss of social capital. Passive loss of social capital. Every time that they refer their friends and family to somebody that they don't know, there is a risk of losing social capital even though I may not be directly involved in the transaction. Risk of social capital, nobody wants to do that. Okay, next, big complicated decisions that could potentially make them look stupid in the future, that could make them feel foolish in the future. Okay, there are 2 big risks that any person takes in any kind of business or any kind of business decision, whether as a buyer or a seller. The first risk is the risk of losing money. If I make the wrong decision, I'll lose money. The second big risk is losing face, whether it's in front of your family or whether it's in front of yourself. I will look or feel foolish if I take the wrong decision. I don't want to feel later that I took the wrong decision. I don't want anything to happen that can make me feel that, I could have done better with this decision. I will look or feel foolish. Okay, very, very important if you're selling services, contracts, if you're an agency, if you're a travel advisor, travel agency, any kind of services, deal that you're doing with the customer. Yeah, what happens in a travel agency? Summer vacations, family wants to go out. Summer vacation is happening, family wants to go out. Where do we go out? What is the right destination? What is the right budget for that destination? Do I have that budget? Should I stretch my budget to accommodate it, or should I just go with a lower destination? What is the different things I need to be aware about reaching that destination? What all could go wrong during the journey? What all could go wrong during the stay? What is the risk factor involved? What happens if something goes wrong? I don't like it anymore. Can I come back? What happens if something goes wrong with the bookings? Can I get my money back? Many of these unasked questions in the prospect mind create risk, and the risk is either the risk of losing money or the risk of losing face. Nobody wants to get into a travel deal, take their family out to Goa or even Sri Lanka or Pattaya or whatever it is, and then have something go wrong and then feel they were dealing with the wrong person and look foolish in front of their family once they're out there. Those are the things in the mind of the prospect. What are you going to do in order to reduce those fears to zero so that they can treat you like an authority and do business with you? Okay, everybody wants to go to heaven, my friend, but nobody wants to die unless you focus on these parts. Most people think that the focus, if I keep maximizing this, keep convincing the prospect of this, the certainty of this, the volume of this, oh, you could make 10 crore rupees tomorrow. That's not going to change the decision. Instead of raising the bar from 1 crore to 10 crore, not going to improve the decision for the prospect. No, the secret is in reducing this. How can I reduce this for the prospect, the risk for the prospect, down to as low as possible? Okay, not zero, as low as possible. Yeah, I'll just give you one little example, then I'll give you a resource where you can find all the answers. Okay, one little example is Bitcoin was making money, everybody was making money, then Bitcoin is down, a lot of people have lost money. At the time when Bitcoin was in upswing, if you told your prospect, assuming you are a financial guy or something like that, if you said, hey man, if you put 10 rupees to try out Bitcoin and play the wave, yeah, if you made money, would you be happy? Would it be the right decision? They'll say yes. And if you lost money, how much would you lose? 10 rupees? Yes. For 10 rupees, would you be willing to take this decision and play the wave, and assuming you lost 10 rupees, at least you will know the game from the inside? Would you be willing to do that? Most people will say yes. Most people will say yes. You just reduce the risk of entry for the prospect down to almost nothing, 10 bucks. Now, what is the right amount? Is it 10 bucks for that particular prospect? Is it 100 bucks for that particular prospect? Is it 1,000? Is it 10,000? There are many prospects who would have played any game for 10 grand if it made them feel that they're learning something new and playing the wave with other people who are also playing the wave. So how do you determine that? Okay, that can get entry into many households and many wallets that you're currently not being able to get entry into simply because you're not focusing on this, you're focusing on this. And this is not the answer because everybody in the world is talking about this. This is the answer because nobody in the world is trying to figure out this. As long as you get into this, you become the de facto standard. So how does it work for your industry? For network marketing, health coaching, supplement selling, vitamins, Kangen water, financial advisory, insurance, mutual funds, property broking. How does it work for your industry? How does it work for your industry? Over the last 17 years, after quitting my medical profession and going headlong into the profession of commission selling, doing various things from home loan refinance to insurance advisory, network marketing, performance marketing, Silicon Valley, coach consultant business, building my own agency to help people like you, we have hit upon the exact right formula that works for commission selling businesses, and we call it the lean startup model. Every Thursday for the last 3 years, I've held a webinar at 7:30 p.m. to walk you through the lean startup model and how you could make money and emerge as the top 1%er in your field, regardless of whether you are overperformer or underperformer all the way till now. If you want, you can meet me for free. We used to charge $17.99 for this webinar, but recently we made it free. So if you want, you can meet me for free next Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. If you go to startupfrat.club/live, startupfrat.club/live. If you appear half an hour before this webinar, which means if you come at 7 o'clock instead of 7:30, I'll open the gates and you and I can have some Q&A, some two-way talk, and you can ask me all your questions. At the end of this webinar, if you feel that you would like to carry on this journey in a community of like-minded individuals or under the guidance of somebody who's figured out every aspect of this game for the last 17 years and can give it to you in a box format, thus shortening your journey and helping you to re-earn the lost 3 to 5 years of your life, then you can also take part in our offer of the week, where I'll be opening it for 10 minutes, where you can get into my community on a paid basis and get to work with other individuals who have used the lean startup model to become the top 1% performers in their industry. So if you watch this video and you find this of value, you'd like to meet me live, just head over to startupfrat.club/live, and I look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.